You know what it is. Hit that like and subscribe. Let me know where you're all from. We're going to keep you guys updated with some juicy news. Goodie Mob, he reflects on hearing Tupac's Hit 'Em Up before its release, and everything about that record was true. Big Gibbs said that Goodie Mob, the iconic hip-hop group, recently took a trip down memory lane. They sat down in an interview with Hip Hop DX and shared stories. They reminisced about a pivotal moment in their past when they were privy to the Tupac's now legendary diss track Hit 'Em Up. And before its official release, during the interview with Hip Hop DX, Big Gip shared insights into the atmosphere surrounding that time, shedding light on the tension within the industry and their connections to both camps involved. And I think the Tupac song was just so incredible because of the time and the space that we heard it in. And Big Gip expressed that he captured the essence of a moment that resonated deeply with the hip-hop community, and the context that both within the industry and the relationships they held with both camps added a layer of complexity to their experience. It was, as Gibb described, a very peculiar time. And so, reflecting on the impact of Hit 'Em Up, Gibb continued, but to hear that record at the time, it was a smash that we thought it was when he played it. It was the rawest record that we heard at that time. Gibbs' words paint a vivid picture of the raw energy and authenticity that emitted from Tupac's unreleased track, and capturing the essence of a moment that would go down in hip-hop history, acknowledging the skepticism that surrounded the track for years. And Gibb asserted a lot of people for 20 years said that he was lying, but now we know he wasn't lying. And this revelation adds a layer of vindication to Tupac's authenticity, affirming that the content of Hit 'Em Up was indeed a raw and unfiltered expression of truth. And so that's like some recent news that has been happening with Goodie Mob, and everything about that record was true, that Gibb concluded, emphasizing the realness encapsulated in Tupac's words. And the interview provides a unique glimpse into the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the hip-hop world during a time of intense rival and creative fervor. Now, Gibbs' reflection on such moments highlights the respect and reverence that these artists have for each other, even in the face of industry tension. In essence, the interview dives into the impact of Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. Furthermore, it is also offers a poignant reminder of the power of music to encapsulate and express the complex of emotions and realities of life, both within and beyond the studio. And so, what are your thoughts on that right there? You guys let me know in the comments below and tell me what's going on with that. But then another thing even about Gibbs, who is CeeLo Green, and all about the Goodie Mob icon. And so from Goodie Mob's hit collaborations with Outkast to his influential blend of R&B, we're taking a look at the life and the career of CeeLo Green. So there isn't another voice in music quite like Goodie Mob. Icon CeeLo Green, from his outspoken hilarity to iconic tracks such as, his illustrious character, has garnered him a career on the TV screen and in the studio. And so he was born Thomas Burton in Atlanta, and the son of two Baptist ministers growing up in a church environment. He utilized this setting to display his vocal and performance talents on Sundays. However, his parents died when CeeLo was still very young, by the age of 16, and he was without the guidance of his family. And it's a sad world that we live in, because a lot of these people that are actually famous or people that are upcoming lose their family members in the process of things in such tragic ways, whether it's from gang violence or from sickness and illness, or, just that's how life is, potentially maybe old age. And it's such a hard thing to lose somebody that is so close to you. Could you just imagine losing your parents? And I'm sure that we all have, at some point in our lives, lost our parents, or, may have not have them around anymore. But you guys let me know what you guys think in those comments on that. And so CeeLo, he struggled in adolescence, engaging in gang activity and dropping out of school in 9th grade, spending a period of time in military activity. He began to pour his frustration into inspired career in music. And so those aspirations would morph into a career in the hip-hop act Goodie Mob. Along with 3 friends, the group began honing their craft in 1991. And however, Goodie Mob wasn't anywhere that the mainstream success it would morph into at this point. Now, CeeLo Green worked at an airport in the early 1990s to pay the rent, and however, as he told Revolt, me and my cousin were working at the airport and we heard Players Ball on the radio, now over the intercom system, while we were having lunch, and he recalled I said, "Oh, wow, so we quit the job we left and we went out to the studio." And so that's when, with Goodie Mob already being associated with Outkast, hearing Players Ball over the radio was a game changer and made their dreams feel like it was real. In fact, CeeLo met Andre 3000 back in high school a few years later, and Goodie Mob popped up through their collaboration with Outkast on, Get It Up, Get Out, their first concrete exposure on the mainstream charts. And soon after that, their debut film in the form of 1995's Soul Food followed. Outside of Green, the world was introduced to Big Gip, Cujo, and T-Mo, and most notably, their single Cell Therapy peaked at number 39 on the Billboard Hot 100, while topping the Billboard Rap Singles chart. Now, Goodie Mob's sound blended the worlds of the roots and Southern hip-hop in a manner that hadn't been done before. And however, the beginnings of CeeLo's next step as an artist were beginning to form. During Goodie Mob's rise to fame, CeeLo became the standout member of the group amidst his high-octave vocals. And on the atmosphere, the sophomore album Still Standing, fans were clamoring to hear more and more of CeeLo. By the time the 1990s and 1999's World Party far missed the mark on the commercial success of Goodie Mob's previous albums and collaborations with Outkast. So CeeLo knew it was time to move on. And so while the group would eventually release 2013's Age Against the Machine and 2020's Survival Kit, he began focusing on his solo career for the time being. And so CeeLo Green was pursuing a solo career by the 2000s at this point. And so diving even deeper into his bag, as an astute vocalist, CeeLo Green's solo career blended R&B with the blues, and he was throwing it back to the 1970s while containing hints of modern-day production tropes, carving out a sound that blended Al Green with Andre 13. And so, however, his solo career wouldn't hit a newfound level of chart-topping fame until he collaborated with iconic producer Danger Mouse. As Gnarls Barkley, the two released the single Crazy Under Street, elsewhere warranting 2 Grammy Awards. However, Gnarls Barkley's vulnerable commentary surrounding suicidal thoughts and industry-induced anxiety made the overall project's influence timelessness. And so Timeless Green's first solo hit finally arrived in the form of 2010s. And so the track's hilarious contrast between smooth production chops and reviled lyricism made it an instant favorite, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. And he would go on to release a PG version of the song in the form of Forget You, which also garnered significant numbers amid his commercial success. Now, CeeLo leveraged his musical notoriety and a newfound career in television, and he became a coach on the first 3 seasons of The Voice and the host of the 2011 show Talking to Strangers. Now, since 2010's The Lady Killer, the recently turned 48-year-old has struggled to recreate the projects and magic on the charts. However, he's continued to release albums and make occasional film appearances over the past decade on everything that's going on with that. And right there, that's some recent news about CeeLo Green. And, him talking to, giving all the news about how he actually started Goodie Mob, how Outkast and him did collaborations together, how he met Andre 13 back in the high school. He still, chats it up with him. That's one of his good homies. And, a few years later, Goodie Mob popped up through their collaboration with the Outkast on Get Up and Get Out, and their first concrete exposure on the mainstream charts. And so remember, I was saying soon after their film and their album in the form of the Soul Food, it followed. Outside of Green, the world was introduced to the Big Gip and Cujo and T-Mo, and that brought in a whole new generation of music and artists right there. And, what was introduced on that was their single Cell Therapy, and that peaked on number 39 on the Billboard charts, which is pretty big right there, because not anybody could just make it in the top 100s like that. So that's an achievement for them right there. That's very big. And so, Goodie Mob's sound that blended the worlds of the roots and the Southern hip-hop in a manner, remember, that hadn't been done before. Nobody has thought of doing that at that time, and nobody did do that besides him, really. So, eventually it released into the new 2000s and after the 1990s and stuff in 1999. And, music in the age of hip hop was changed forever from that point on, just with these artists alone. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know where you're all from. Hit that like and subscribe. We're going to keep you updated with some more juicy news.